Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the Blurred Confidential, and I'm Johnny.
I'm James, aka Anonymous Rex.
And I'm Q, aka Black Hercules in the building. Not me.
My goodness.
Flexing on it.
Oh man, what's going on with y'all this week, man? Another week down. Another week of indoor activities. So how y'all living?
Oh man, solitary confinement. Solitary confinement. Doing all right though. It hasn't been bad. It's been a good week so far. I was happy to get it over with, just to have to see it start all over again tomorrow.
I know. It does seem like weekends go by way too quick now, but hey, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it's what it is at this point.
Living that life. You're living that life now, so.
Mm-hmm.
What have y'all gotten into this week?
Go ahead, Johnny.
I'm lagging real bad, y'all. But yeah,
that's what you had going on this week.
I don't know. Been kind of this alien kid. Just been kind of doing a little research here and there. I don't know what it is, man. I was watching that Joe Rogan, and that's that whole fiasco, and just been kind of following that. I don't know. It's just tell you want type scenario. It's just given one time to ponder on things that you normally wouldn't have time to ponder over, and and I guess in the slight hopes of maybe some alien species will come save us from ourselves. But yeah, that's pretty much my week. There, a lot of introspection.
I think they lock their doors when they pass by Earth. It's just one of those moments.
No, yeah, never totally screwed.
Oh, boy, better believe it.
Oh yeah, that's
the time.
Yeah, it's one of those moments. Yeah, we not. I know there's a stop sign, but we not stopping. We just gonna keep going. Damn day. There you go.
It's the hot exactly. All this being for the hot ass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, for myself, I completed my first Let's Play. So that was a plus. Finally just hopped in and just did it. Even though I ain't really talk much about the game, but I mean the game was on in the background. I did all right. There was some moments where I was like, boy, I am sucking. But we got it over with.
It's a real thing. Got to push through.
But nah, man, that was cool. I was like, yeah, I might do more of these. It's just it's cool to kind of take it back to when we were kids and you playing the game. But he started off talking about I think James, you brought this up. You started off talking about the game, and afterwards we kind of just talk about any and everything else, whatever pops up. So
I mean, that's what it's for. So it's one way that people can get together, and we used to have couch time, like when we grew up. You have friends that come over, y'all sit out, y'all chill out, either be at the couch or a room, taking up the whole floor, the bed, and you sit there, you're playing a game. You get excited initially for it, but then by the time you start getting through it, until you hit another high point, just talking about whatever anyway. Mm-hmm. You still enjoy yourself. You still get to kick it. So it's in a way for me, that's what I was kind of seeing when we were doing the playthrough when I was on with you. You will end up talking about it if you get to that point to where you die 6 times in a row. Damn, you died a lot.
Yep.
You gonna get your life together or something, or what you plan on doing? You gonna keep playing this? You gonna keep jumping in the same hole? I got it. Okay, you ain't gonna do that no different.
Yeah. Now I see. All right.
But once you get past it,
yeah. See, I felt the shade there. So let me explain myself. So
now there's an explanation. Yeah, now we're ready. Now we're about this.
Yeah. So
I figured there'd be some backstory to this.
Yeah. So the way that Bloodstain works is when you have one character who's super powered up and super mobile, and you accidentally lose said character, the other characters just aren't fun to play with. So you're like, you know what? Let me kill all the characters so I can restart this level and I can get the one I want to play with back. So There you go. That's what happened.
If I die enough, it'll bring a good one back.
Exactly. I gotta kill.
Deep dive.
Yeah, I have to sacrifice everyone else to, for the greater good. That's all that happened.
Apparently. Apparently.
But we beat the game. I mean, it's not a long game, I see. It shouldn't take me as long as it did, but again, I was running my mouth during the whole time too. But like, you could beat in like 45 minutes, honestly, if you really optimize your movements.
I got a guy that I know right now that he's a talented ass barber, but if you let him start talking, he's gonna be on your haircut for at least 45 minutes to an hour.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Big Jerry.
Oh boy, like ooh. I cuss his ass out on a regular basis. I'm like, you need to be cutting hair for a living. You need to make a killing. But no.
Hey,
but no, he got other things in mind. I'm like, you raggedy bastard. But anyway.
You know what? It's different playing while talking because, especially when you just start focusing on the conversation and you're like, oh shit, I am playing a game. That's kind of what happened. Yeah. But anyways. Right. Again, it was fun. Might even, do another stream of like with, Destiny, since there's really no, I guess, actual. I mean, I guess there is a story, but there's like no basic structure to all of it.
Or no end game,
yeah. I mean, well, what I mean is like there's no once you boot it
you
up.
Got a couple end games. You ain't got like
no immediate goal that you have to focus on at the time.
Yeah. Right, no straight up campaign. Like, hey, campaign, finish this mission. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's not that. It's not saying, mission 1, go destroy this enemy base. Yes, sir. Let's do it. It's not that.
I treat it like some people treat that Madden's. Like, I just get into it, and like once I start playing, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like, I just go through it, and it's like it's not that it's mindless because some of it you got these puzzles that you have to do. You have a lot of these things that you have to figure out along the way, but at the same time, if I'm just running Crucible and we got PvP, find a person, shoot, light them up, let's go. And you do that for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you good. It's like it's all good.
I guess this kind of depends on what you're doing. I guess it's just especially when you're midstream and the chat's hot. It can be really entertaining, and I have to say, a lot of times, when I'm, looking to play a game, whatever it may be, whether it's Flight Sim or whatever, it's almost like I prefer to stream it just to have that additional interaction.
Right.
I mean,
and that's why I like a lot of multiplayer stuff. Like, you got social drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
People only drink when they get around other people. Social smokers. Mm-hmm. You got social games the same way, in the same sense. It's like, I can play some of these games by myself, but after a while, it's like, I'm bored. Let me find something else to do. I'm bored.
Yeah, I think it depends.
Let's say the three of us want anything.
Uh-huh.
You can make that entertaining by itself because somebody ain't gonna know how to do it. But like amongst the group, y'all may all be good at it, but if you pick one new thing, 2 people are decent at it, and one is just fumbling all over the place. That's funny all by itself because now we waiting on your ass, or in that situation, more than likely me trying to get myself together while we playing this, and I'm bombing out.
Speaking of drinking, what's everybody drinking?
So I got me some Redemption. Give me a second. I actually got to go get my bottle. It's Redemption Rye. It's Redemption High Rye.
Yeah. See, we're not as fancy with the whiskey, so I just have a beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right yeah,
James, where's your top hat, James?
Oh, if y'all don't get y'all bougie asses out of here with all this crap ass beer y'all got.
James is over here calling.
Ain't nothing more American than craft beer.
Yeah, James over here calling us peasants because we can't have scotch all the time, but it's okay.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Scotch and highly priced cigars.
Yeah, scotch and a splash of club soda, nothing more.
Exactly, with olive. Bing. Yeah. Speaking of that, I was watching Last Dance. Have you seen that on Netflix?
I want to start it with the about the Bulls.
Yeah.
I've heard all about it, and I see they finally put it on Netflix. I was like, oh man, I gotta watch this. I just got just find time to pop it on and just binge watch it. What's your thoughts on it so far?
And I don't know, man. It definitely puts Michael Jordan in a different light. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was I want to be like Mike, back in the day. I mean, everybody was, right? But
Of course.
at the same time, I didn't realize this dude smoked some cigars.
Oh, yeah.
Golly. Shout out to Redemption.
Man, I do
Man,
that.
he smoked some cigar. Like it wasn't a scene in that show. He didn't have a cigar hanging out the corner of his mouth unless he was in the court. And even like right after he got out the court, halftime, a cigar.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing when it comes to athletes. I don't know why. I know Charles got a lot of flack when he said this, and he said, I'm no role model. I believe Charles, because not every athlete is a role. You may want to play like them, but you don't want to be like them.
You like them.
Yeah. I mean, because I tell everybody all the time, like, Karl Malone is probably one of the best power forwards we've ever seen, but he's a terrible human being. Like, if you hear about his backstory. I'm just saying. Like, and was that?
I was gonna say the whole thing with the role model. What do you want to be when you're in the spotlight like that? You are.
I know, and it's sad though. But at the same time, go ahead.
Oh man, I don't mean to cut you off, but that was like what you just said was the very thing that Michael was arguing in the interviews. Spoiler alert, but I mean, yeah, spoiler alert, but you know what I'm saying. It was that he understood the fact his responsibilities of being, at this point a worldwide celebrity. But at the same time, he mentioned that the moment he stepped outside of his hotel room, he was in the spotlight. It was a crime for him to be a human being. Like that's how he felt.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair though. Cause it's like, I remember, oh man.
Shit. Then yeah, it might be a crime for you to be a human being, but I don't know.
I was just looking at it because I remember it was a while back when they were talking about athletes who get in trouble. Should they be fired from their job and not allowed to earn any money ever again? And it was like this. Okay, if we're taking it there, then that should go across the board for every profession. And then there's one woman, and she was like, "No, that's not right because they're celebrities or they're role models." And I think Shannon Sharp, shout outs to my man, and he said he's like, "Aren't doctors role models too? What about lawyers?" He's like, "What if they're just terrible people? They should still be able to practice and do their profession." He's like, "When did we start attaching who you are as a person to your ability to make money?"
Your ability to make money.
Like,
right.
Yep. Anyways, that's that. But yeah, I do have to. It is on my radar to watch that. Because here's not that long. Like it's like maybe a few.
It's 10 not. Episodes? It's like 8, 9. Yeah, it's like 10 episodes. I think they're like 36 minutes long.
Yeah, we've been watched worse than that in the season. In one day.
Oh God, man! I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the journey. Have both y'all seen Game of Thrones, right?
I've seen some of it, yes.
Really? Yeah. That was myself and my wife. We watched every episode. That was a freaking journey, man. Good grief. God, that was a journey.
Yeah, right. Me and my wife were entertaining the idea. We were like, yeah, let's just rewatch it. Like, and I'm like, I mean, we ain't around number time now, right? Like, even if I'm working, I'm still at home. So it's like,
we got the time. I told you. My job is talking about not opening the office until January. Yeah. I got time.
And so, yeah, it's like, hey, you know what? Why not? Let's do that and The Walking Dead. Guess why not?
We in Texas. Hey, we're going to be shut down forever. People can't get their life together. We got time.
No, James, those are all fake. These are all numbers being inflated. It's not true.
Oh, okay.
2020.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time. We ain't going nowhere. Yeah,
because the guy I follow on YouTube told me it's all fake. He didn't show me any numbers, though, but he just told me it was all fake, and I trust him.
But do you follow the guy in front of you in traffic everywhere they go?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Oh,
it depends.
so you living up to your gamer tag?
Take another sip of your drink, Dang. Take another sip.
See, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with you people now. Y'all just willing to follow anything out here on the mainstream media. You got to be smarter than that. They out here to get you.
Did you just say you people?
Nothing else out there.
What do you mean,
you people?
What you people are you talking about?
All you freaking liberals out here, and all your social justice stuff, and you know how y'all do.
What you mean by y'all?
What? What you mean by liberal? I'm an American.
See, I'm not here to argue with you guys. I'm just trying to give y'all some knowledge and let y'all know that. Yeah.
That's where you're going with this, you guys?
Oh, by the way, my best friend's black.
Exactly.
Are they now?
Yes.
Is that a qualifier?
It is.
It's for you to be in this conversation. For you to be in this conversation right now, that's your qualifier?
Yes.
You got to know one black guy?
I even made eye contact with one at the gas station earlier, and I think that allows me to be able to say what I feel.
Well, I made eye contact with a black cat, too. Does that make me an expert on cats?
And I watched 3 episodes of In Living Color.
But I watched the whole entire season of Big Cats. So, once again, does that make me an expert?
Oh,
I'm a catologist.
Oh man! But that's just an example of the things I've heard on the Al Green's internet. I mean, by Al Gore's.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Al Green.
Yeah, Al Green.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm tired of alone. Don't give me, girl, just as soon as you can.
Oh,
my
say that I found a way to make you say that you love me. Hey. I'm crying the tears now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh man! See, I've been drinking. I got drunk way too. Oh yeah, for all those people who missed, it was tequila day. I think it was the 24th. So, but then again, it's not like you can really go to most restaurants. But I did get me a bottle of tequila, and we made some punch, and we drank like all of it in a day.
Bro,
lovely.
I bought me some sipping tequila about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
People just give tequila a bad name.
See,
you just got to get the right one.
You got to get the right type. If you're getting the one that's like super clear, you're gonna die after like a few shots of that. So
I'm just not a bit tequila. I mean, I've had numerous brands. Now I'll tell you one that I have been made a believer on is the aged rums.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple for you. You need to try some Florida Cana.
Try that one.
That was 14. Then you need to try Jonah's Curse.
Mm-hmm.
They sell it it is a very dark rum with hints of charred pineapple and mango.
Mm.
It's molasses based, so it's real Caribbean rum. It was ranked.
Let me ask you this, James: when you drink it, do you hear the steel drums in the background?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Because you start, for some reason or another, break out a set in front of you.
This Hawaiian shirt just manifests itself on your body?
Yeah.
Hell no.
No.
You get a white linen suit and a straw hat. With some sandals. With some Jesus sandals. You gotta have a complete fit. It's the linen pants, the linen shirt with the half button. Like, I don't care how big or small you are, it's always half button. It never goes all the way up. And depending on who you are, it's all the way open.
Hey,
Because you got to let it all hang
out. I thought you just let it open.
What the
let it fly in the wind like a cape.
I mean, if you want to go old gangster pimp with it, I mean, you get you a white do rag and a white muscle shirt underneath. Let it all go. with your jagged edge sunglasses on at the same time. It makes you feel real good. Yeah. Make you want to bust out a coconut.
Oh man, you said
we're going to talk about something. I completely forgot what we're going to talk about.
I can derail a conversation real fast.
Oh man.
Oh man. No.
Me. If you need someone to derail your conversation, call James. He'll be there right on time.
You're right. We started off like, well, James, man, how do you feel about this particular game? Man, that game ain't shit. Well, anyways, let me tell you about this.
Have you seen the brand new tires on that Escalade?
Yeah. Hey, you ever seen a crocodile?
You ever seen a crocodile smile?
Yeah. And you were like, I don't think I have. Oh man, let me tell you about it. So back in the day, you know,
it was just a revolutionary thing. You couldn't find it in one place or another, but then when the internet hit, you could find it everywhere. It is the internet. The internet is going nuts, and they are everywhere. Crocodile smiling from ear to ear.
Oh man!
But I hear that question.
But I did have some questions for y'all. I know I sent a few. So again, with us being stuck in, we've been doing a lot more either gaming or watching films. And I've been going back to like some old classics. And I started realizing, and if this is not a true statement or at least partially not true, then yeah, let me know. But,
conversation derailed.
Yep.
Whole lot.
I believe Paul Verhoeven was ahead of his time when he made RoboCop, Starship Troopers, and Total Recall, because the satire in them hold up to this day. And we're looking at about almost, RoboCop was 89, 87, something like that. So
somewhere around there.
Yeah. And it's funny because, you know, people always say they don't like having like, you know, political, they don't like having.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, was that
87?
87, yeah. You know how people, they'll always say, oh man, like with The Last Jedi, I don't like the film. I would say that, you know, but the argument that some people made where they were like, oh, they put some BS political stuff in it. And I was like, first of all, you never watched Star Wars. All of it was political. But that's never really derailed why I didn't like it. I thought it had a lot of plot issues. But when it comes to like
then.
No, go ahead, Johnny. What you saying?
Who were these people? Like the entire canon was political. Like everything.
That's why I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But so people got mad when they tried to make that plot in The Last Jedi talking about like war profiteering and things like that, and I was like, yeah, that fits. I was like, we already got a corrupt political system, so it makes sense in the Star Wars universe. But for some reason, people got mad behind that, and I was like, okay, I guess, you know, whatever. But
let the hate.
But it's so funny because when you look at RoboCop and the films that Verhoeven did, no one makes those arguments against those, even though they're fully anti-capitalist, anti-fascism, militarism, and all these things, but nobody ever complains about those. That's actually leads to the beauty of the films. And so it's just funny how people will say they don't like these things in their movies, but when done well, nobody really looked at RoboCop as anti-capitalist. They didn't.
At this point. Okay.
Yeah, either that or being desensitized to violence, and how over the top the violence was to I think he even said intentionally, if you listen to the making of the film, that scene in the boardroom with Ed 209, he said he intentionally made that scene long and uncomfortable to get it to where people will actually turn away from it. Like, okay, yeah, that's too much.
Welcome to 2020.
Fast forward.
If he had only seen where this would go,
oh man,
through this point.
I mean,
I will say this.
Okay.
I will say this with to your point. Like when movies are done really well, especially in the vein of RoboCop, where the premise is over the top.
Mm-hmm.
You include the violence being over the top. You include all these other things. When you start nuancing other little things in, like capitalism or anti-capitalism or fascism or anti-fascism, when you start putting those elements in underneath, they see it happening, but they only respond to the over-the-top things where they're not really responding at all to. Because it hasn't gotten too graphic at this point. It hasn't gotten too crazy at this point, but it keeps you on this roller coaster ride. You're paying attention to you're hearing what they're saying, but you're not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
But then when the conversation actually starts to happen about what they actually saw and say, what does that remind you of when you actually have to think about it like when you're going through that process, that's the only time those wheels start clicking for people because they're not really paying attention to the dialogue.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention to the circumstances that all these people that you see in the city are completely impoverished, but there's a company that's running everything, acting as your government.
Yep. And you know what, James, you bring up a really good point. And my wife always argues this because she's the type, she doesn't like rewatching movies. I'm the exact opposite. I love rewatching movies.
I went looking for Fifth Element. I went looking for Fifth Element yesterday just so I can watch it 30 times and I couldn't find it.
James, hit me up.
You know what?
I mean, I have a totally legit copy. But anyway,
I got a connection. I got the plug.
Yeah, we derail quick. But
I told you.
Every time like for example, Star Wars, every time, especially the older I get and I start to rewatch these movies, you start to see different aspects of the movie that weren't prevalent at the time you first seen it or you initially seen it, especially with RoboCop. So, mind you, I haven't rewatched it yet, but it's on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time I watched it, there were things that, really just stuck out to me. Like, you have this corporation trying to build this, utopia. And at the time when I first, initially watched it, I didn't realize how, crime ridden Detroit was, even though I have relatives there anyway. And so, fast forward to today, it's just mind blowing. It's almost as if, a lot of these filmmakers had like a crystal ball and saw how ridiculously jacked up things would be. And to see them manifest themselves in movies made in 1987 is borderline scary. I'm sorry.
I mean, it was funny because when I rewatched it, I think it was earlier this year, I started thinking about it. I was like, Omnicorp is intentionally bankrupting Detroit so they can swoop in and buy them.
What is Detroit right now? Like, and no disrespect to my people in Detroit. I love Detroit. I got like some brothers from the fraternal organization that I met from out there, but it's like people are buying houses legitimately for $2,000. You can buy a house. You can buy you can buy a city block for $10,000.
Price came up a little bit to about 11,000. Just saying.
Ooh.
Hold on. Don't make me Zillow this right now.
Live them thing.
Hey,
hold on. Everybody on Zillow right now.
I will make future investments. I'll pay the taxes on.
Yeah.
Woo.
But
But at the same time, that's also sad though, man, because people are just literally being pushed out of their homes because of tax.
yeah,
Literally.
I mean that happens. That happens a lot of different places. I mean, it happened out here in McKinney. A lot of people who were a part of McKinney at early parts, and then all of a sudden the city revenue rose, and now all of a sudden their taxes went from 12,000 to 12, 1,200 to 12,000. They're like, hey, we can't handle that. Oops, your fault.
Oops.
But my God.
But yeah, man.
I want to go invest in Detroit. Y'all want to go invest in Detroit?
Oh, what's the numbers looking like?
Man, I am looking at an 8,898 square foot apartment building with studio apartments and all $7,500.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's $7,500 just for the entire building.
I'm looking at a house, man, that looks straight up haunted.
Look. We can make an investment right now. Get a 13,000 square foot house, 14 beds, 8 bath. It's a little expensive, but I think we can make it happen. It's $3 million, but I mean, compared to what it could be in the other markets, I think it's okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what, James? We'll let you do our research on this one. Look up something similar in Frisco, Texas, and see what numbers we get.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, because we already know what that's going to be.
It's going for 16.9 million of them things.
Of them things.
But no, see, here's also another thing. So from the RoboCop movie, it's another thing that this is what I got, and I might be reaching here. But you realize that once Murphy gets turned into the actual cyborg, he basically becomes property of Omnicorp. Even though technically he's sentient, he's alive, and whatever. He has his memories are starting to come back, but at the end of the day, he is Omnicorp property.
Oh, let me give you a comparison. So we were looking at $3 million for 14.
Man, I'm so really looking.
Yeah, I know.
Like I was hearing you, but it was prices. Woo.
3.2 million, 14 bed, 8 bed. Okay, that's in Detroit.
Okay,
that was $3 million.
Yeah,
that was 14 bedrooms, 14 bedrooms, 8
14 beds. Yeah, 8. Yeah.
All right, and that was 14,000 square feet.
Okay.
15,000 square feet. In comparison, in Frisco, Texas, that's 6.9 million for 5 bedrooms. Hold on.
Is that a house?
But it's a house.
Okay.
But wait.
It's a closet.
It's a foot closet.
Yep.
If anything. It has 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. Now look, I like taking a dump just as much as any other man.
Yeah.
But you got more bathrooms than you got bedrooms. This sounds like a community center.
Yeah, that's essential.
And that was 9,000 square feet.
Damn.
So you lose 6,000 square feet.
Yep.
And toilets.
And toilets, yeah. And you said only 5 bedrooms, so what, 9 rooms?
No, it's 5. 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, that one was 5, and the other one was 14. 9. So you lose 9 bedrooms.
check this kerfuffle out.
Oh,
the one in Detroit is 15,000 square feet.
Uh-huh.
We got one for $4 million with 6 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. Why so many bathrooms? 14,000 square feet, and you got 6 bedrooms. Is there a ballroom in this house somewhere?
Wait, I have an idea. All right, hear me out.
All right.
All right. So let's say you stink up one bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad you can't do number 1 to finish it out, so you migrate over to the other bathroom. Then you can do your number 1, and then you can wash your hands and read your magazines and things that we normally do in the bathroom, right?
You walk down the whole house, bombing other bathrooms just to avoid the last bathroom because more than likely you're getting flushed.
Yeah,
why not?
You got a designated poo room, is what you're saying? Like,
Precisely.
See, now when they came up with the phrase "stinking rich," I didn't think you would take it intentionally and make that a literal term.
A literal thing, yeah.
Literally.
You take your stinking ass off from one room to another because you ain't want to go flush the toilet.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh,
you hire people for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, if you got more rooms and it's just you got a room you can nap in. You got a room you can, get your boogie on in. You got a room you can actually go to sleep at night. You got a room where I don't know, just whatever you want to do. Because it's
my max is 6 bedrooms. Like, I just need one that be an extra game room or something else, a meditation room or something. But no. Oh
man, some of these homes, dude, they're like 14, 15 bedrooms. I mean, they're literally hotels. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Literally.
Like, unless I have like every person in my family coming to live with me, I don't feel like I need that personally. But.
No. Once again, I told you I can derail a conversation. So back to what we were talking about.
Damn, I forgot what I was even saying. What was I saying?
Exactly.
Damn it, James.
I ain't gonna lie. I take the L for that one because I totally derailed that one.
So since we were talking about movies, have y'all heard about like some of these recent releases that I didn't even know like some of these were in the making. They got a Monster Hunter movie with Mila Jovovich, Miss Resident Evil herself. You have a very casting crew. Now, once again, this is a Sony movie because they love her so much in Resident Evil, they put her in Monster Hunter. Okay. So this is a Sony distributed movie.
So is it based on the game?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I believe.
Oh, man.
So, this is going to come up at some point about whitewashing. But they have her, they have Tony Jaa, T.I., Ron Perlman, and Megan Good. And Diego Boneta.
Ron Perlman.
And Diego Boneta.
Is he at least going to say, war never changes? He has to at least say that line one time.
Just one time.
Yeah, just one time.
Well, we'll see. Keep your hopes up. Whatever you want to do with it, go for it. I don't know what else to say.
You know what? That rolls it. Like, why? Look, I love video games. I do.
I kind of like that they do have Tony Jaa in this, though.
Yeah, but
Monster Hunter, can you? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like games have not had a good track record when it comes to film. Like, honestly, they should have stopped all this when they decided to make Battleship the game the movie. That should have been
the real thing.
That was the thing. I didn't know Battleship had a story behind it though.
I didn't either. I thought it was based off of robots.
Hey, in that case, why not Uno? Uno the movie. Let's go.
That will only be one. I thought that was the Highlander. We played this game already. It was with real people. It was with somewhat real people. They were warlocks.
Yeah.
Somebody got a head cut off. There were multiple heads that rolled. But we got this movie already.
It's funny though, because when you really look through the history, the best video game movie had to either be the first Tomb Raider or Mortal Kombat.
Public service announcement. Gas station chicken in Mississippi is some of the best chicken you'll ever have.
Yes, that is true. I don't know why, but every experience I've ever had with gas station chicken has been amazing back home, but I don't know why. It was an old gas station more than like, you know what? If it were a new gas station, they got some new cooks in there.
It's the aging process. Yeah. As it sits in the warmer.
Now, I almost thought you said it was an Asian process. I thought that was process. I thought you were going so racist.
Oh, yeah. Asian.
I'm like,
it's like, oh boy. Okay. We took it
Asian.
We only made it to the 5th episode. And we got taken down for racist remarks.
Immediately.
All of social media just got bombed.
Aging.
Okay.
Aging process.
Okay.
Poetically, Alpha, Golf, India, November, Golf.
It's about what they already They already think we look alike, and they already think we sound alike. It's not
just to clear the air, ladies and gentlemen, aging.
You gotta be clear with it. They have these problems. They love our big lips and our big tongues, but they can't get the accent and everything. We have to enunciate really. Yeah, we breathe all the air. So.
Oh man! So
get all the fresh air to the brain.
I just pulled up a list of and I'm using this in heavy quotations, the best video game films to worst. And of course, Mortal Kombat's at the top. 95.
Of course.
Somebody put Super Mario Brothers as number 2.
Wait, what?
Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. Yeah.
Good Lord. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot. You know what? I can't saw it. Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know if y'all had to bring the kids.
That wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
That was actually. Hold on. That was actually a good movie.
You know what? I actually changed my mind. I just realized best video game movie was Detective Pikachu.
Oh.
I will say this. I enjoyed it. I ain't gonna lie. Mm-hmm. Like I'm almost a child. I don't take much. It don't take much to make me happy.
Amuse me.
Yes, all of that. But with some of these movies, they can go jump off a cliff. Now, when it came to Detective Pikachu, now to actually see these Pokemon realized in a fashion that I had never seen before, is what got me excited about it.
Oh yeah, I mean the CGI was brilliant.
Like Gyarados and like seeing all them and like to scale to what they were supposed to look like if they were actually out there. I'm like, yeah.
I almost want me to go out there and play Pokemon Go. Almost.
I know, huh? But only reason I say hey, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes go back to the OG Game Boy Pokemon. I grew up with it.
Oh yeah, that's one though. That's the best one.
I used to run that on an emulator, and I just run the hell out of it.
I had it on my phone, so
I was like, "Oh, I didn't get that Pokemon. Rewind. Hey. We're gonna try this again."
Hey. But yeah, that would be my number one pick for best video game movie. So, and then Mortal Kombat. That's right there.
What did you guys think about The Witcher on Netflix, the series?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now, I didn't get that whole thing. People were saying, oh, it's going to be the Game of Thrones killer. And I was like, nah, I don't think that's what it's going to be. I was like, but it's going to be good in its own right. So,
yeah. It's kind of like one of those where you find they want to find a comparison for something so bad they have to go with the last biggest thing. It was like sometimes it's not that it's about that comparison because they just don't match up the same way. The stories are not the same. They're not even damn near close to being. They're not even close enough to be considered similar at all.
Yeah.
But check this out though. So with a couple of those, you got Mega Man coming out as a movie.
Really?
Which I didn't know.
Why?
Yeah. They got. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the whys for a lot of things. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I really didn't play it a whole lot when I was younger.
I played it.
Oh yeah, Mega Man was. You guys remember the Tiger Toy handheld games?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I remember they did a version of it too. Yeah. No, I hated it. I hated them.
That was the toy we got in case your parents just didn't want to buy you a Game Boy or a new Game Boy game. So they're like, "Hey,
that's exactly what happened."
They put 2 or 3 of them. They put 2 or 3 of them in your in the stocking.
Yep.
So they ain't really got to wrap it. They got that hard plastic on it. And somebody got to take some cloth shears to come out and
literally cloth shears to cut them.
Because that thing was just you couldn't get into it without cutting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I bled many of Christmases trying to open it up.
that bulletproof plastic.
How much will it cost for me to open this cartridge Your blood.
Hey.
Look, a blood sacrifice. If you want it open, you give a blood sacrifice. I don't want to. You will never open it.
Man, look.
Try again.
Mega Man.
So, Mega Man, but
Okay.
this is one of my highlights that I found. G4 TV is supposedly coming back, and X Play may be returning.
Cold Monkey.
They ain't said nothing about that.
Hey.
But X Play was that was their pre-mission, one of them that I love, which we got Olivia Munn from.
Okay, yeah.
Because she came from that network to go into stardom into the X-Men movies. She was probably the highlight of some of the movies because the movies were trash themselves. We ain't going there today. I ain't got nothing there.
Logan is the best X-Men movie.
Yes. So we're gonna leave it at that one too, because that's true. That is the best thing that they ever done.
I'm wondering what services are going to carry that channel. That's what I'm curious. Cause I don't think they've announced that yet, right?
No, but I'm gonna tell you what might happen though. It is Comcast that owns it. So it is Comcast owns a lot now. I think they're actually a part of NBC. Like they have a part, they own a portion of NBC, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever it is, not sure yet. But you got the whole HBO Now, or like the whole service that they're doing at this point.
Well, HBO Max or something like that.
HBO Max,
yeah, HBO Max, yeah. Which sucks,
So
by the way, because the app is not available on all platforms. But I'm not gonna go there. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, don't talk to me then. HBO Max.
Oh. You got a Roku TV, don't you?
I do, but they didn't release the HBO Max app because they didn't strike a deal with Roku at the time.
Yeah.
So once again, don't talk to me HBO Max.
I kind of figured that's what this was about.
Yes, and I was like, so if I want to watch HBO Max, I got to boot up my PlayStation just to get in. I was like, man, this is so tacky.
Right. I said, you know what? I ain't got that to worry about. I only got the one TV in the kids' room. I ain't worried about that. And you said that, I'm like, you do have that Roku TV.
Yep. That bullshit. But anyways.
So I can see it possibly more than likely going to that because, I mean, a lot of Viacom stuff has already ended up over there because of that's pretty much their service that they're running. And then, so that means Cartoon Network, Boomerang, TBS, TNT, all that's going to be on HBO Max. So you can kind of see that that's where you might start seeing some of that stuff show up. I can kind of see the same thing for this too. Right. So I would just say like they'll be releasing some more information soon. But on the other side of that, it could be completely online too. So that's the next thing that I'm looking at.
What do they say in regards to timeline? What do they say, 2021 or?
They're talking about 2021 at the moment.
Okay.
So a lot of this stuff, like some of these movies are aimed for 2021. I think this Monster Hunter movie, now they did say it's lightly based off the game or loosely based off the game.
Which means not at all.
Loosely.
I just don't know about the Monster Hunter movie though. This may turn into something that slides its way on the DVDs pretty quick. I don't know.
It's possible.
But it depends on how much work that they put into this. Now, looking at some of the name of these actors at this point, to me, it feels like that they will push this to a streaming service. But we gotta wait this out.
Yeah.
Because now, once again, you got T.I.
Oh my
you got
one more time.
You got T.I. Tip Harris.
Yes. Very respectable actor.
Yes. What's that fancy word for actor?
A thespian.
Thespian. That's the one. That's the one. That's what I'm looking for. That's that.
Hey, I like women.
Yeah, okay. Good job.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not sure.
I got a
I'm
couple.
not sold.
I'm not sure you like. So you got some other movie and TV announcements that that's come out in the last week or so. But the Bill and Ted one that's been out for a while now. Like
Yeah.
as far as what's supposed to be going on with that. But they got Rick and Morty season 5 footage just that they just released on Adult Swim Con. So that is going to be a thing that's probably dropping around the fall. So you got some more Rick and Morty coming out.
Yeah,
And Pickle Rick.
I still need to finish season 4 of it. So yeah, Rick and Morty is awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's
It's the adult bullshit that you need in your life that makes no sense at all.
Definitely.
Oh, it does, and that's the beauty of it.
Just pure ignorance is all I need in my life. Ignorant bliss. So they did Comic-Con also online too this week.
Really?
So they had, I think it was a 4-day panel. And apparently Kevin Smith, the good old great Kevin Smith, was bleeped out a bunch in one of these panels that he had. So like in the 57 minutes that they had him on talking, 57 minutes and 41 seconds, he was bleeped out a total of 113 times.
Good Lord. What?
Just talking. It's Kevin Smith just talking.
Oh man.
Well,
yes. So they pulled the edited rap song on him.
They basically
just held the button down for him.
Man.
So this is what they said. Smith was bleeped 7 times, averaging 3.5 bleeps per minute, or 210 bleeps per hour.
Wow.
Somebody quantified that.
At 11 minutes, Smith racked up 36 bleeps, and he had slowed a bit to 3.27 beats per minute.
God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So he should have just went and stood up there then. Like, just don't say nothing. Just stand there.
At all.
He should have just said, fuck, for 57 minutes straight. And he could have hit a 1-to-1 ratio for every single minute. Like, good God.
Yes, that's atrocious. So, I guess did anything good come out of the Comic-Con then? Like, any...
Of course, Walking Dead has this panel that it does every year for it, so that they got some new stuff coming. What else did I find for that Comic-Con?
Like another season, or
still?
I think that's that's still coming with it.
Oh God!
Well, they
have
in the supernatural territories now with all the
zombies in space.
Well, and Supernatural is coming to an end this season too. So
yeah, Supernatural been on for like damn near 20 seasons. Like it's
man,
crazy.
look, it was that show. It first came on when I was in. I want to say that was my freshman year in high school.
That sounds about right.
That is about how long I think it's been on. In fact, I gotta find out. 2005. So no, it was my senior year of high school.
Yeah, that was my senior year then. So damn, that's great. But we canceled Firefly after one season. Thank you, Fox. But anyways, go ahead.
And so, big ups to CW on that one. They know how to
CW. Aren't they doing another episode? Doing another season of Black Lightning.
I thought they ended it, but you know what? They might keep it because after the cross timelines that they were apparently doing with everything else.
Yeah, with all the other like the Flash and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing I was going to bring up. So now it looks like the DCEU is several times bigger than the MCU. Apparently, is what they're saying with one of the with what they're doing with the DCEU.
Well, it's funny because when you look at DC, on average, they have done better with their animated and TV series than they've done with their big budget films. Outside
They
of
have.
Batman.
Historically, yes.
Yes. Like the DC animated stuff is usually way better than their movies. And their TV shows have always been hell, they were one of the pioneers, I guess, outside of the old Flash TV shows, what got people into the comic, comic book TV series. So
Yep.
now I would say Arrow is hit or miss because Arrow starts off good, but they try too hard to make Arrow into Batman. So
The Batman, they
Yeah,
tried way too hard.
yeah, and I was like, look, Oliver Queen is not Bruce Wayne. I understand they got similar stories, but no, they're not the same guy. So
No.
I think what they tried to do with that too was because
Destroy it. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, of course, I think that's the goal for everything. But if you look at Hawkeye and the type of weapons that he would have for his bow and arrows, like they tried to make Oliver the same way, but it's like the only difference was with Oliver and Batman. Oliver in the show literally created his own Justice League in a way.
Yeah.
Where you got all these people that you got the computer guru, you got scientists, and you got people that come up with gadgets and all this other stuff. And he did most of that himself, is what they say. But I don't know. I never knew the comic book version of them like that. Like I didn't have that much exposure to the DC comic books like I did with like a lot of Marvel stuff.
I followed more Batman canon in the comics than I did anything else, man. I just wasn't a huge fan of the Arrow.
Yeah, because Green Arrow kind of looked like a lame Robin Hood. So
Yeah, like a bootleg Robin Hood.
So
I mean, yeah.
They're like, nah, we good on this one. You know?
Man.
Try something else.
Yeah. So, but other than that, it starts off fun. Now,
yeah, it's good starting off. Real good start.
But so I'm still mad that they did cancel Swamp Thing, though. But hopefully they bring it back.
Oh, they canceled it.
Well, you remember when they only did like one episode of it when they first brought it out, and then they never. I guess they ran into issues with how the show was getting paid for because apparently when they do filming, the city they're filming also covers some of the costs, but I don't know. It was something weird that went on.
Right.
New Orleans too.
So Swamp Thing, New Orleans.
Didn't they film that in New Orleans too?
I don't remember if it was New Orleans or Florida.
I think originally it's supposed to take place in Florida, wasn't it?
No, I think
like the show.
I think I want to say the show was set in Louisiana. Let me see.
Yeah, it was initially set in Louisiana, but I don't know.
That would be the reason why I think they may have filmed it there because one, Louisiana's tax laws are extremely lenient to like the movie industry. Mm-hmm, so that's why you see you see so many movies made in New Orleans, like the new superhero movie that they just did with is it Joseph Gordon-Levitt? There's a new superhero movie that's coming out the Netflix that is filmed in New Orleans. In fact, Jamie Foxx is in the movie.
Oh,
that movie takes place in New Orleans, but also with them filming in Louisiana, they get tax breaks for all that stuff. Just like you see a lot of movies that are filmed in Canada and Georgia, it's because they get the tax breaks.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know. DC, bring it back.
All right,
for real.
Get on your job. Get on your job. Now,
I wanted to get this out of the way real quick. Hey, James, were you going to bring up something else? I'm sorry, man.
Go for it.
So, Dr. Disrespect, people talk about this guy like he's some sort of, who the hell is he? That's what I want to know.
You know, I was going to ask y'all that too, because I was like, apparently he got booted off of Twitch like for good, and I was trying to read the story and figure out like what happened, but you can
There's
really
no
find
story about what
you
happened.
can find out what happened. And
He
I
hasn't
guess
come out and said anything yet.
no. I mean, I'm sure. I guess they paid him to walk away. I don't know. That was kind of weird because there was also another chick who got suspended off of what you call it too, but apparently she was supposed to be suspended for like 2 days, but it only lasted like a couple hours because they thought she said
Oh
something
yeah,
derogatory about the Abby character from was it Last of Us 2? So
Oh,
oh
I don't know.
so the whole thing with the Doctor Disrespect, um, he got dropped at the same time that they had the scandal drop about the Smash Bros. Community, people being toxic in the Smash Bros. Community, like some of the guys that are in it, for all kinds of things, like real bad behavior. I'm not sure exactly what it was. Could have been sexual related. All this kind of stuff was happening at the same time that Dr. Disrespect got dropped. So they were letting people go from Twitch on a drop of a dime. So they had a whole drop, like that day, they had dropped so many different people at that point. There was a competition that was supposed to happen also for Smash Bros. That this company was, this team was hosting or something. The person that's over that team or that group, they had to step away from the company because they got pushed out because of some remarks and some of the things that they were involved in for that same toxic community in the Smash Bros. Like circle.
Okay.
So a lot of people were thinking that it was something to do with it, or just like toxic people in Twitch in general that were like doing these sexist things or whatever.
Right.
A lot of those people were getting dropped at the same time on the same day also. So people were speculating that Dr. Disrespect got wrapped up in it, but there was never a statement that came out about it from him or Twitch.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, man, because they bring this guy up. First, I don't even know who the hell he is. So I'm like, who is this guy? You know,
I've heard of him in passing, but he's big in the Twitch community. Like,
okay, so he's like
one of those
streamer,
right? He's a top streamer.
Yeah,
for
gotcha. Freak, I'm getting old. God, it's terrible.
It's like anymore. I mean, if it's not in your realm, it's not in your realm.
Yeah, it's totally not in my realm. Yeah, but it's just like you scroll. But if you know this guy is like a lot of this content has started to make its way more into mainstream media. Yeah, you know, like Ninja, you know, all these.
It's what the money is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
that's what the money is.
Younger kids. This is actually funny because we talk about this all the time. Like, kids will rather watch entertaining people play video games than to play them themselves. I guess that's how we used to have to interact with each other is we had to come together and actually play. But they grew up in an area where multiplayer and things like that were always from a distance. So they never had the experience where you brought your memory cards and your controller to a buddy's house and then y'all hopped on whatever game. Or you brought your console over or whatever. And so then, of course, with the internet, you know, kids started looking at more, you know, streamers and let's players and things like that. So they'll rather just watch them play the games, and you know, so it's interesting.
It is, man. It's because even now it's like, you know, when I fire up my stream or whatever, and people log in, sometimes I still kind of, you know, I hope. You know, I want to believe that they're there for the interaction and the conversation rather than just to watch me play a game. But in all reality, I mean, there are a lot of, you know, a lot of individuals out there who just want to watch other people play games who are, you know, entertaining and engaging and things like that. So, you know, it's definitely a movement. You know, that's, of course, it's been a long time coming, but you know, that seems to be more and more prevalent. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, man, that's the guy. Like, who is this gentleman, and why should we care?
Which also, I would say this to be fair to the kids too. We did something similar as well. We used to like watching a friend of ours play something, especially if we were trying to figure out how to play it. We'll sit back and we'll watch somebody else play it first and be like, oh, okay, cool. Or James, like we were talking the other day, with certain genres, you'd rather just sit back and let the gameplay and story unfold while you're invested, into it, while someone else is actually playing through it. So yeah,
And like that's where YouTube came into play when it was early on, because when you wanted to see if you wanted to, when you were thinking to yourself, do I really want to buy this game? You'll wait for it to come out. Somebody will put it on YouTube in the beginning. They'll put it on YouTube and they'll do like a little walkthrough, like, hey, this is this game, this is the review. Or it'll be some of these companies that would do it on their TV shows. So like IGN would do it on their websites. GameSpot would do it on their websites. They would do these playthroughs or these brief playthroughs to get you to see what they saw, so they can do a quick review on it. You would kind of rely on those things, and this is before Twitch became a thing at that point. This was before Twitch. This was right in that sweet spot of YouTube and online media being an access point for more content, because some of those same companies also had magazines. So Game Informer started with their magazines. Then they did this hybrid thing where they were online coming with daily news, but then you had your big articles that would come out in the magazine every month. You will watch these, or you will listen, or you will read these things to see what this game was like before you bought it. It's like, man, they wrote some really good information about this. But then when video was involved, then we got snippets. But then live happened. Then we get Twitch. People will watch it for a short time and then go on. But now it's a full-time investment.
Yeah, I remember being subscribed to Game Informer, and you're like, oh, the next game, and you just had to read about it. Talk about the stuff that happens in it. And then, of course, like we said, then video started coming into play. And even then, a lot of these developers actually use some of these prominent Let's Players or streamers to actually advertise the game for them. Give us a real solid, us a review on it, and let us know what you think.
Yep. And they're the same ones that are doing the alphas too. So like, sometimes they can talk about the alpha. Sometimes they got to sign an NDA just to say like, hey guys, I'm testing out something by a particular company that does a particular thing. I can't tell you about that thing just yet, but once we can, then we'll be happy to come back and we'll discuss it together. But I can give you more information. But they are getting this firsthand take on this game to get their input. Like, this doesn't work. I really like this. They get to put that input, give them that input. So then in the end, they are a part of that game too. Like, hey, I helped create this.
Yeah.
I helped test this.
And that's always been the fun part. And now, I remember Nintendo was terrible at that starting off, because Nintendo didn't want you to play anything of theirs. They were known for like even flagging any game that had Nintendo anything in it or their cutscenes. They weren't playing that. They got better
though. You have to evolve in this market, because
I don't think they had much of a choice, especially when Microsoft and others were leveraging this new method of media to get their products out.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody got to try something. So I mean, when the first company tries and it looks successful, of course you're going to see people do the same thing all over. Like, well, I think my product is good.
Nintendo's always been just so freaking just resistant to change, as if we're still back in the early 90s and 80s, where they were. I mean, which they are a heavy hitter, but where their influence was that much more prominent back then. And I don't think sometimes I think they fail to realize like, they're not the only dog in the hunt anymore.
Yeah.
And like I said, over the past couple of years, they've gotten a lot better, and, not flagging everything that has even like the letter N in it, but, even, 3-4 years ago, man, it was, folks were getting notifications left and right that you're not supposed to, stream their content. So yeah, it's glad to see they're finally starting to, realized the error of their ways and, starting to be a little more liberal in terms of that.
Because the people that pay their bills are the people that buy their stuff.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I think also what happened was that even though there was quote unquote console wars going on, Nintendo was never officially in it because they were in a different market. If you really think about it, Nintendo, their core people were little kids, the handheld market, the Japanese market, etc. They weren't in the market of creating the next big IP or anything like that. They didn't have to. They could just sell Mario, Zelda, Kirby, and all that stuff ad nauseum, and they still would turn a profit. And so I think that also helped plague them when it came to coming around to how things are now, because they're like, well, why do we need to do any of that stuff? Like, we have the handheld market. No one's going to compete with us in there. Sony tried, they failed. Other than that, iPhone, that's who else is going to really rock with us like that? Google Play. And so
they do have competition coming up.
That's the rumor.
It ain't Stadia. It ain't Stadia like they think it was, because they tried to do that and it has not gone well.
But the funny thing is no one historically, and I'm saying it can't happen, but historically, no one has ever beat Nintendo in the handheld market. Game Boy came out. Sega tried to do their handheld console.
Game Gear got close. They got close.
It got close, but it didn't beat Game Boy. You even had Atari try it.
Tiger tried.
Sega tried it. Dreamcast tried it. Dreamcast in between the Genesis,
Sony,
the Gamecast.
The game, yeah.
Yep.
Who else? The closest one was the first PSP, and they tried, and it got close. But
they had a decent market for a while, but they could not replicate what they tried, because your problem ends up being that you try to replicate what you have in your main console.
Yep.
The only one at the time that could do that was Nintendo, because they weren't power hungry machines at that point, and you can make them look both the same. Yep. Your PlayStation Vita and your PSP couldn't match that. You had to make a mobile version of that game. They had to name it specifically for that because they couldn't get it to scale.
And then the other issues were this. The fact that they wanted that system to be so powerful, you now price out indie people and all these other people you could have enlisted to help build that console. Because if with the Vita is beautiful. It works well. It's a powerful piece of machinery. But if we have to make PlayStation 3 quality games, which cost millions of dollars to make, no one's willing to risk their studio for a Vita game. It's just not going to happen.
And then on top of that, I think I didn't mean to cut you off, Key. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine.
I cut you off. I feel bad, man. I'm gonna get therapy. But I probably need it. But and then another aspect which kind of segues into our next topic, but the software. If you look at a lot of Nintendo's releases, while graphically pleasing, the texturing and how the software is coded leverages on whether it be a Switch or whatever, the Switch and the Wii, the Wii U, they've always been, known as, in terms of hardware, lesser capable systems, but the software wasn't designed to leverage on, the fast GPUs and CPUs, like you would need in like a Sony or a, or an Xbox game. So, I think, I really do think Sony shot themselves in the foot with the PSP. Because with the type of hardware that was required to run their games, the mobile market just wasn't ready yet. Even with NVIDIA's Tegra chip, it just wasn't ready yet. And it's, it's almost as if, the developers, which goes back to what you were saying, Keith, would have really just needed to go back in and completely recode the entire game to make it more of a pleasing experience, when playing it. But I mean, I owned a PSP and man, I loved it. Especially like a lot of the Japanese titles. I mean, I loved it, but they had the games is what killed the PSP. Yes. I really feel that, you know, developers, they didn't want to make the same game twice. And that's
exactly
at the end of the day what really needed to happen, to get those titles out there to the PSP.
Yeah, and I think that's what should have been done. They should have enlisted some of the smaller studios, even back some of the, because Sony also needed to back some of it as well. It's like, hey, we got Crash Bandicoot, we got all these other characters and other game IPs that may not call for a full scaled game, but let's release a Contra game. Let's release something simple, that people just play on the go. That's the whole thing. They were building games like you're gonna sit at your game for like a handheld game for hours. It's like, no, the handheld market is based. You're not gonna do it. And so the handheld market is based for short, quick gameplay, stage-based gaming that you can play while you're on the road, and you can cut it off and go do what you got to do, and maybe come back to it later.
And I'd see that a little differently with that too, though, because the way that things happen now is that we're so on the move that we're always going and doing something. Travel is more accessible to us more than it ever has been before. So imagine you being in a car for long trips. Like, some people love car trips and taking them cross country. I hate them too. If I'm always uncomfortable because I'm never in a vehicle big enough that I want to be in. Unless somebody's riding an excursion, I can stretch out. I'm good. No. But like even long flights, like 4 hours, 6 hour flights, or you have to go coast to coast for any reason. Sometimes you just want to be like, you know what? I want to finish God of War. I could not finish while I was at the house. I just kind of wish that I could make that same progress on the go or when I get to this hotel, because it's snowing and they talking about blizzards this weekend. I ain't going out. I'm chilling. I'm ordering room service, DoorDash, with a 9 degrees out here. I'm praying for snow all year. Just, I need something freak to happen. But like being able to take that game with you and say, let me complete this while I'm on the go. Johnny was experiencing this, and he literally bought him a gaming laptop so he can take that with him so he can do whatever he was doing before he left the house.
You let the cat back, James.
Yep. I mean,
yeah, well,
I'm setting you up for a robbery.
Yeah.
I'm setting you up for a robbery.
And James, I get it, but it's just, what is that concept? Because that's the approach that Sony went with. But it basically removed a lot of potential from the system, because if that's becomes an essential purpose of it, being able to play on the go or do what is it called? I forgot what the actual term of it is called. But anyways,
what's that?
The term where you can basically continue playing a game from your PlayStation 4 with your but and so with the system
for this continuity, so
yeah. But and this is another thing that happened, is that you have to have the space capabilities for it as well. When they made the PSP, they outpriced themselves out the market too, because I think the memory card was like $80. It's like, it's like, why does the memory card cost more than the games? And it was just,
they did
it was weird, man.
They chose the wrong. They had a good idea at the wrong time, and I guess the execution was not there all the way. And the reason why I bring that up, is like being able to play on the go is like you got, and we were talking about this right before we started, but like one of those things where you got the hardware or the software. Like when you're looking at the software, we're going into a new age of gaming where hardware is one thing; it's one aspect of it. Software is another aspect of it,
Well,
and people are going to assume. So what's up?
no, I was going to say it is, but historically, the company with the best hardware on average never fared out as much. And you look at it historically, the Genesis was more powerful than the Super Nintendo, but the Super Nintendo sold better. The Dream, what else you had? You had the Turbo. Oh, here you go. The Turbo Graphics was better than the Genesis and the regular Nintendo. Didn't sell well. The Sega Saturn technically was better than the PlayStation and the Super Nintendo at the time, but didn't sell well because they didn't have the software to back up the need to purchase that. Even in, like, some people will say the Xbox was better than the PS2, technical wise, but it couldn't compete. And then you get the PS3 was the most powerful console we've seen, but it had struggled starting off out of the gate compared to the Wii, which was so simplistic, and the Xbox 360. And so it's every time, like, you see this a lot, and I get it. We like seeing the next powerful piece of machinery. We like seeing the next great, technical marvel that we, because we like visuals. That's great. But it's like at the end of the day, a lot of these things sell because they have other good software to go along with the powerful hardware.
And that was my point with that too. The software has to be able to meet the hardware halfway. You got to be able to provide an experience, but you also got to be able to provide something to back that up on the other side.
Yeah.
But where we're headed now is infrastructure based.
True.
Microsoft has been doing something for the last 10 years, and it's been popping up in everything. Azure, we use it for our work stuff, like for security. We use their that whole connection point to leverage their servers to handle the load instead of putting all the work on the hardware or the machine that you're using currently. So that goes for your PC. But also on top of it, it opens up the door for xCloud. So you can use any device you got in your hand. You can use your phone, an iPhone, and you can take every game you got on your Xbox and play it full out. So when they're hogging the TV, they can take it. My account logs in and it kicks up and it says that my account is available. All I got to do is play. So when I'm trying to finish out Devil May Cry, or when I'm one thing that I tried was actually running Forza. Huh?
You over there playing Overcooked?
Overcooked too, actually.
Let me tell you something. It can be a decent game, but that game is so frustrating.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Yeah,
it's fun though.
I don't have anxiety issues, but when your ship is tossing back and forth, your shelves move too, and your dishes move, your dishwasher moves. But I'm trying to get this plate fixed. But I'm trying to get this one washed, and I'm trying to get this one dried so we can get more plates, man. Yeah, frustration.
Hey, I played it with my
frustration part 1, 2, and 3. Yes,
it was so bad that when I
looking at how they're using xCloud at this point.
You like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now he's back.
Yeah, there we go.
Like,
all right.
Stuck.
Hey man,
I was like, that don't look right over there.
Yeah.
You like you strung out on something. Like,
hey man, as I was sitting there,
we need to call somebody.
Man, maybe.
Like I might have to call the emergency services for you or something. Like, they're gonna send you to the hospital where you gonna get COVID. So,
but just thinking about the game, where do you think all the scenery for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 is coming from? It's all being piped from the Azure infrastructure. And it's beautiful.
And
Have you seen the video?
I see. So this is the thing that I bring up with it. It's sometimes it's like now it's like what are you competing against? It's while some people are competing against what hardware is better at this point. What's the new end game? You might be fighting over hardware, but I'm playing this new game that we got going on. This new long game. You competing with hardware. I'm trying to compete with services. It's because now everybody is aimed at a service. You got Netflix, you got Deezer, you got Tidal, you have Amazon, Amazon has multiple services that they're offering. Who is the king of services right now? Apple. They offer credit cards, they offer music, they offer movies, TV, publications. You got all this that's happening at one time. The smart thing at this juncture that we are in is what do you do to make yourself available in so many places where you're not even having to create the product itself. You're just creating the access point.
Yes. And
so like that's what we're if people are smart, they should be starting on this now because this battle that these console makers are in right now, they're not playing the same game anymore. Because you look at this Xbox and this PlayStation, they're literally the same machines.
Yep. Pretty much.
I mean, the only thing you're dealing with right now, yes, PlayStation has exclusivity on a lot of things that people want and they will pay for. But the other thing that you have to kind of reckon with now is not only does Microsoft have this as their avenue now, where they're making their titles available on multiple platforms. Your Android phone is now an Xbox. Your iPhone is now an Xbox. Your iPad is an Xbox. Your PC is an Xbox and a PC. You have all of these things that are happening in real time, and you can say, all right, you know what? Hey, grab your phone. I know you're in the house, but you're going to play. You can sit on your couch right now, bring your phone to the house, and Johnny be on his Xbox or his PC sitting right next to you, and y'all are playing the same game against each other. But you ain't gotta pick up and go anywhere. And what's this man doing right now? Like he looks like he ready to touch something. Let him go ahead and get in the microphone.
Hey, I was waiting if he's gonna get some words like, man, you full of it.
That's fine.
Man, I'm full of PlayStation for the win.
I'm full of it because I ate it. I ate it all.
Yep.
Yes, and I digested it, and it's coming out the other end. So yes, I am full of it.
In that sixth bathroom.
And I'm passing in the sixth bathroom. I'm gonna hit 3 other ones along the way.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we run up on time though, man. Anybody want to give out their socials? Also, Johnny, let them know next time your stream is going. We get some more folks in.
Oh man, Stalker Actual Gaming at Stalker Actual Gaming, but no, it's on YouTube there. Stalker Actual Gaming, Instagram, Stalker Actual Gaming, straight flexing, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Pop the truck on all these flight seals.
Right. What about you, James? Got anything coming
up? No, just stay tuned to some more pictures and videos of some smoke ribs that'll be coming up soon. So, Instagram, King.James1219, Twitter at Gorilla Grilling, no G. And, yeah, that's about it at the moment.
Okay. Also, don't nobody say nothing to. Matter of fact, when y'all go to him, all I want y'all to say is, "What about this pound cake, though?" That's all you gotta say. Say that, walk away. You know what I'm talking about.
What about this pound cake?
She just.
Hey, Jane, what about this pound cake?
Look like I gotta keep making pound cake.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get it one of these days. All we gotta do is just, strong arm it one day.
No. Just make sure the ingredients there when I show up.
All right.
You gotta have ingredients in a butt. Get the ingredients in a butt pan. James, I got the stove. It'll get made.
And pack of cool cigarettes.
Hey, you gotta have that one. No, you know what? Give me a black and mild with the wood tip.
James
round the corner.
James do look like the dude who can have like a whole conversation with a cigarette in his mouth and it not fall at all.
At all.
I've done that.
Ashes all the way up.
Yep.
I've done that with a Black and Mild, and I've done that with an actual cigar too.
See,
Yeah.
we knew it. Nah, but also, if you want to follow me, I am at _Q_D_great on Twitter as well as on Instagram. And actually, no, I lied. On Instagram, it's just Q_simp. So yeah, man. Other than that, I do also do another podcast. It's called Chopping Up with Q, which is also on the same Spreaker page along with this one. Make sure to just go take a look at both of them. Make sure if you are on Apple, make sure to leave a review. Give us a like, share it. Good anything you want to just say, tell us how good we're doing, tell us how bad we're doing, tell us if there's anything else you want us to really discuss. We're open for it. But other than that, I think it kind of covers everything. We do. You can also hit us up on Twitter, which is at Blurred World Order. All one word, no underscores or anything like that. You can hit us up there on Twitter, and you can also hit us up on our email, which will be not at, but blurredconfidential @gmail.com. So without further ado, I think fellas, y'all got any last words? Anything else to say?
Nope. Straight.
Keep up alive.
Yeah. Black Lives Matter. Make sure y'all take care of each other.
Well, we canceled. Damn.
And everything's fake news.
That's right.
Cool.
Other than that, we're about folks.
Peace.